Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat?
Rolling along Radio Row, our coverage all week long presented by L'Auberge Baton Rouge. Very pleased to be joined by a guy many might consider the heartbeat of the New Orleans Saints defense, not the whole team. It is Demario Davis. How are you, sir?
Hey, what's going on, mighty man? Thanks for having me on.
Dude, it's our pleasure. We're glad to have you aboard with us here, man. We opened up our coverage from Radio Row with your teammate Blake Grupe, who also, as we know, was the fellow Arkansas State Red Bull.
Yes, sir.
Now, he told me he's got the Demario Davis bobblehead and that you maybe didn't like the bobblehead so much. So I had to ask, just for the record, how do you feel about Grupe having the Demario Davis bobblehead in his locker?
It was cool. It was cool. They reached out to me and wanted to have the bobbleheads, as something they were giving away at the games, and they hit me up on the concept. I thought it was cool. You have your own bobblehead, but I didn't realize that the characters look so funny, and so it's just kind of like the weird face. I think they did a great job with the hair. They did a great job with the hair, but the face I couldn't quite get with. But I thought it was super cool, and I was super humbled that the school wanted to do something like that.
And no problem with your teammate having the bobblehead in his locker.
Oh no. He was representing.
You have any extras? Because I'll put one on the set. I'll keep it there every day.
I get you one. I can get you one. We can make that happen.
You know what is? I kind of marvel. I think most people who love the NFL marvel at you because of the way you've been able to be consistent and healthy throughout your career. I'm curious if you think, as a guy, you missed 2 games in your career, right? One of them was COVID, and the other was hamstring. How much of that, Demario, is just God blessed you with health and physicality to be able to go through this, and what's the blend also of your protocol of how you take care of your body?
It's nature versus nurture. So number one, I'm not going to put them in any kind of order, but I guess I'll talk about the nurture. I have a phenomenal team. And we're working 6 days a week. So average out, 6 days a week, spending 3 to 4 hours on your body during the season. And then even in the off season, every other week, we're kind of going through a protocol. So when we're not even in intense training, like we're resetting the body right now, we're doing all those different things. And so I got a major shout out to my team, Miss Alexis, Jose, y'all out there. Man, they do a phenomenal job taking care of it. But then I think what's most important is God designed my body for my purpose. And I think I'm living inside of my purpose. So I deeply believe I'm living inside my purpose, which is why he's allowed me to play at a high level that I'm playing at. My goal is to do 3 more years, then I'm out of here. And I'm not planning on no drop-off going out of here. But it's because of the way that I'm using the platform, the way that I'm using the platform to inspire and motivate people, to encourage giving, encourage loving people, and so the way that I'm using the platform to represent God in a way, it's like being God's man to do the assignment. And what it doesn't allow for me is to have any wiggle room. I got to do it the way he wants me to do it. But I think that's what is allowing me to have the longevity.
Why 3 more years?
3 more years. I feel like, man, I would love to, bring a Super Bowl to New Orleans. And that's what my focus is. And how do we get back to dominant defense and bring that Super Bowl here? And I believe that can be done inside of 3 years. And you want to go out on top. And I feel like that's just a number. It can happen anytime. It's like a guy says, it's time to go home, I'm going home. But I have to have my mindset to where it's like I'm not slowing down. I'm not trying to go out on the decline. I'm trying to go out on the incline. So I have to set if it's only 1 year left, I have to be able to see, additional year. Like I'm going to ball out this year and come back the next year. I can't be like, oh, this is the final. If anybody's like, this is the last year, you're not going to give everything you got. Like you're going to be thinking about what's next. And so I don't want that to be me.
Demario Davis, courtesy of Intuit, which another way you're giving back. We'll talk about that in just a quick second. But it's, whenever you sign with the Saints, you won't remember this, but we had you on the show then, and one of the things that struck me so much was you talking about coming closer to home and really almost feeling like it was part of a a mission that God had sent you here, and a lot of things you were doing in Mississippi and Louisiana in this region as well. Like when you started your profession, it's fascinating. You know, as a guy now in your mid-30s who's had this longevity, entering year 14. Like when your career started, was this always your ambition? Like, did you know that this was going to be your journey? Because you did go Jets and Browns before you landed in New Orleans, but like, or has that been an evolution during your professional career?
I knew that I could be great inside the game. I knew it was within reach. And I knew that, you know, with the platform, to whom much is given, much is required. My wife and I, we've always been giving people. And so when we came out of college, the first thing that we wanted to do was help bridge the gap from high schoolers getting to college. We had already achieved that. So like many people where we're from don't necessarily go to college or don't get a chance to make it out of Mississippi. And so we wanted to help bridge that gap. That's why we started our foundation. Mm-hmm. And so fast forward 10 years, now we've built a 10-year career. And it's like, oh, well, what we've done, we've learned a lot, but we've been successful in what we do. And so like now it's not just helping high school kids get to college, but it's helping young athletes transition into the pros and navigate college and, you know, navigate resources. So our platform has kind of gone from just holistic development to how you help people have a Hall of Fame life. Like everybody's not going to have a Hall of Fame career, even if you do make it to the pros. And some people will never make it to the pros. And, you know, but everybody can have a Hall of Fame life. Yeah. And so that connects with people. And how do you do that? Well, number one, you got to get yourself together. You have to do the self work, right? You have to have emotional intelligence to know what's going on and do the work to become holistically well, spiritually, mentally, physically. But when you do that, now you can impact other people. You can impact your spouse. You can impact your kids. You can impact your community. And that's what we want to help people do. And so that's literally what you see us doing when you see us doing all these things and helping all these people. It's just us multiplying our life.
That's why you're here. Demario Davis with us, courtesy of Intuit. I want to talk to you a little bit more Saint stuff, but let's talk about the NFL Inspire Challenge and the financial literacy program and why you're working with Intuit here.
Man, I'm so grateful to be a part of the NFL, man. They're really about the work. I mean, you see so many social campaigns, and you think back years, everybody's like, I don't know how I feel about so many social agendas kind of coming into our game, but it's about being, I mean, it's the greatest game in the world. Super Bowl is the greatest event in the world, and I think just doing the real work. You see the commercial, I am somebody kind of play, but you see them out connecting with partners like Intuit who are on the ground doing the work, and Intuit is taking financial education into schools and specifically underserved communities and underserved schools and making sure that they have resources. Only 33% of adults are financially literate, and Intuit believes that 100% of adults can be financially literate, and you do that by transforming or injecting yourself into the education system. And you know, most schools don't encourage you to take a finance class, and they have a whole curriculum for young people to be educated on concepts such as budgeting, saving, credit, taxes, and they're really helping a lot of kids. I was with about 300 kids from here in New Orleans, which was really cool. They hear it Radio Row, and they get to go in all these breakout rooms, and they're playing these games where they're learning these financial concepts, and all the kids thought it was cool. So you know how hard it is to make something cool for high school kids.
Yeah, man.
And not only that, they're learning something, so they're making learning fun.
Bring Demario Davis in. That'll probably help make it cool, I think, for high school kids as well. It's really. Where can people go to get info? Is there a website for this?
You can go into Intuit website and look up Intuit for Education.
Intuit for Education. Yeah. INTUIT is where you can get it. Demario Davis with us for a couple more minutes here from Radio Row. Your former teammate Zack Baun is going to be playing in the Super Bowl. What a year he had! Like,
oh my gosh!
It's this question that everyone's asking, like, how didn't it manifest in New Orleans? You know him well. He was in your position group. Maybe walk me through this from your perspective of what Zack's time was like in New Orleans and how he's been able to hit that parabolic rise this year.
Man, I think it speaks to the Saints organization of constantly being able to bring the right guys, draft the right guys and bring them to the team. We kind of saw the same thing happen with Caden Ellis.
Yes.
We saw the same thing happen with Trey Hendrickson. I think it's just the right time and right fit. Zack was an amazingly talented player while he was with us. I think how they were trying to play him as outside he was really good at pass rushing the quarterback. It was kind of a learning curve, trying to learn inside, but he was a phenomenal talent for us and earned a starting role and was helping us out a lot. And I think it was hard for him to crack the starting lineup here, but you just have a lot of good players in that room. And when he was able to get his shot with the Eagles, he was able to apply all those things that he had learned in his time. And man, he's represented so well, man. Oh my God, just a phenomenal year, phenomenal player, proven to be one of the best linebackers in the league. And super happy for him. I hope, he get a chance to get him a Super Bowl this year. So I hope they're able to take it home. But you see the same thing with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He was a phenomenal player for us. Now he's, playing for his second Super Bowl as well. I think it's just a credit to the culture that we have, that players don't just thrive here. They're able to go other places and thrive as well. And so sometimes it feels like you win in those situations. Sometimes you lose in those situations. But I mean, it just shows that the organization know how to pick the right type of players.
Sounds like Kellen Moore might be the next coach. Nothing's official yet. Do you know him? Do you have any feeling on Kellen Moore?
So funny story. We got drafted around the same time. I don't know.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
I think he would be the youngest head coach if he was to get it. And then youngest head coach and one of the oldest players in the league.
Yeah.
It'd be that kind of dynamic. But I don't know what that is. I know he's probably focused on the Super Bowl right now. I don't know who the organization is going to bring in as the next head coach, but whoever that they select, they're going to get my best as always.
Yeah, man. I want to ask a couple of things first. Fashion in the game. Number one, the arm sleeve, the white arm sleeve with the gold is fire. Why don't we wear that every game?
Well, I switched it up. I have the black one usually when I'm with the black jersey, and I have the white one usually when I'm in white. Sometimes I alternate, but I usually try to stick with whatever jersey color it is. I think it's just a better flow.
I'm with you. I hear it.
You like the white one?
Oh, so good.
I can get you one of them, man.
Can you really?
Go with your headband. Yeah,
all right. So before we started, I showed Demario. So this is no joke. Like I really do, because whenever the NFL wouldn't let you wear the Man of God headband, I talked about it on the show. Bought one, made a donation, and then wore it on my show. So we talked about it a ton. And so my friends make fun of me because they know I always I'm a bald guy. But I always put on the Man of God headband before every Saints game. So like, what about I could rock the Man of God headband with the arm sleeve. If we could make this happen, that might be, I don't know, man.
It's elite status right there.
Paul, I'm gonna send this to you. You can put this on the screen, but there it is, man.
Yeah,
every game I got the Man of God headband. By the way, should I go with, because it's reversible, the black side or the gold side?
So you flip it up. So when the team is wearing white, you put the gold side on. When the team wearing black, you put the black side on.
All right. Yeah. Look, I mean, if you're telling me that's what I got to do, then I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen to Demario Davis.
So I'm gonna send you black. I'm gonna send you both arm sleeves, and so you wear the black on black, and you wear the white on white. You don't crisscross.
Let's make it happen, man. Demario Davis, an all-time Saints great, destined to be no doubt in the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame. Maybe Canton comes calling one day. So, do you ever think about that? You ever think about Canton?
It's a possibility, man.
Of course it is.
I think to be in the room with other great ones is definitely a part of the journey. If we're gonna do anything, why not be the best at it? And to be in the room in the conversation with the best, just blessed to be able to be in the conversation.
Man, it has been, I think, for every Saints fan, everyone who follows the organization, it's been our pleasure to be able to watch you play these last 8 years in New Orleans, and 3 more.
Yes, sir.
You get a ring in those 3 years.
We gotta have it. No excuse.
Demario Davis, our pleasure. Thank you so much for the time,
man. Bless.
All right, man.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.